It's gonna be like 5-minute long video, just me saying, I want to read this one. I want to read this one. I want to read this one. Can't tell you why, but I do. Hello, my book friends. My name is Brenna. Welcome to my channel. I have been having some serious technical difficulties today. It's been a mess, but we're here. We are in front of my bed for no other reason than I wanted to be. And today we are going to talk about 20 books that I want to read in 2020. These books are in no particular order. The order is just how they traveled to my room. That's it. Let's just start on top and go down from there. If y'all know me, you know I'm probably not going to be able to talk much about these books individually because I'm not good at describing books, especially if I haven't read them. But I'll try my best. So let's just go. The first book is Space Opera by Catherine M. Valente. This is science fiction. It sounds absolutely ridiculous and funny, and I want to read it. It's like a competition in space with singing and dancing. It sounds like American Idol and, I don't know, Miss Universe. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds really funny. I recently bought it and I need to make the time to read it. The next book is The Grace Year by Kim Liggett. I have no idea what it's about. I've heard it's feminist. The Grace Year is something like when girls turn 16, they get sent away for some reason. Oh, it says that's why they're banished for their 16th year, to release their magic into the wild so they can return purified and ready for marriage, but not all of them will make it home alive. It sounds really cool. Like, I'm into it. I did buy it because it was pink. I also bought it because Libba Bray blurbed it on the front. Love Libba Bray, but the story itself sounds really intriguing to me. The next book is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. How many times am I going to talk about this, saying that I need to read it? A lot. I've made it 54 pages in. Why am I not reading it? I don't know. Do I need to tell you what it's about? Probably not. You probably all know what this is about, but I need to read it. I'm making it my mission to finish it next year. That's it. It's happening. And the next book I have is Ship of Smoke and Steel by Django Wexler. I got this in the January LitJoy crate, January 2019. I specifically bought that box because I knew this book was going to be in it. It sounds so good. Only problem is my friend Cheryl didn't like it at all. So that makes me weary. But maybe going into it with low expectations, I'll end up enjoying it. Anyway, I'm going to read it in 2020 because I bought a box just for this book. It's been a year and I haven't read it. The next book I have is The Child Thief by Brahm. I own, I'm pretty sure, all of his books. I think there's 5 of them. And I've read 2. So this is representative of the other 3 books that I haven't read. So I want to read all of his books that I own. But this is the one that I've had the longest, The Child Thief. And I need to read it. It's like a dark retelling of Peter Pan. Like, I think Peter Pan is evil or something. I love Brahm's artwork. We got Peter. We have the lady and the troll. The Reverend. Like, I love his artwork. And a dark Peter Pan retelling just sounds so cool to me. I've owned this forever. Like, forever. I need to read it. And the other books of his I own. Next, I have Yes Please by Amy Poehler. I've owned this forever. I love Amy Poehler. No excuse. I just haven't read it. 2020 is the year. Yes, please. Next, I have Catwoman Soul Stealer by Sarah J. Maas. This is the only Sarah J. Maas book that I have not read. I love Sarah J. Maas. She's my favorite author. It's a Catwoman retelling by Sarah J. Maas. Like, what's not to love? Why haven't I read it? Beats me. I found a signed copy at the used bookstore. It's signed for $10. So yeah, 2020, we're gonna read it. And the next book is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I want to read this so bad. I've been wanting to read it since it came out. It's beautiful. It's huge. I love big books. I know it has to do with dragons and warring nations. It's fantasy. I want to read it. That's really all I'm going to say a lot this video. I want to read it. That's why they're in this video. Priory of the Orange Tree. I want to read it. Next, I have Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I want to read this one because it was a gift and I want to prioritize the books that were gifted to me. I have no idea what this one's about. I've only heard good things about it, but I have no idea. So I am very interested. Kat gave it to me because she said it was one of her favorites from 2019. So I need to prioritize Where the Crawdads Sing. Ignore the sticker on this one, but this is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I have heard nothing but good things about this. It sounds right up my alley. People say there's a huge plot twist. I love plot twists. I think I'm nervous to read it because everyone loves it, and I'm afraid I'm not gonna like it. But I need to read it. So, 2020, we're gonna read you Dark Matter. And the next book is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. This one I bought because of Books in Lala. She loved it. I love Books in Lala. It sounded really good. I don't think I've heard anyone say they don't like it. I want to prioritize this one because I know if I don't, it's just gonna sit there and probably not get read. So I want to read If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. Next, we have Shadowfell by Juliette Marillier. I have started this one. I made about 50 pages in. No idea what happened. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. I have read some of her other books and loved them. I bought this one just because it was Juliette Marillier, so I want to read it. I know there's some other books of hers I want to read as well, but this is the one I own, so we're going to start with this one. I don't know what this is about. I don't think I've been telling you what any of these are about because I always forget. I think this has to do with the good folk. Fae beings. So it's like fairies. Next, I have This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. I have started this one. It's a theme, right? I'm reading this on my Kindle, so I'm about 30 pages in. I'm enjoying it. Nothing's really happened yet, but I am intrigued and I want to finish it. I own both this and the second one. I've heard nothing but good things about this. I want to prioritize the books I own. This is one of them. Next is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I have owned this forever. I mean, it's been years. I started it, made it 45 pages in, and that's that. Really is a theme. Books I've started, yet haven't finished. I want to read it. I want to read all of V.E. Schwab's books. She's a great author, and I want to read them. And I own this one, so read it, Brenna. Next, I have Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim, and this one technically is representative of all of my Owl Crate books. So this list is more than 20. I just don't want to bring all of my Owl Crate books. If I remember correctly, I have 14 Owl Crate books, and out of those 14, I've read 2. It's ridiculous. So, yes, I want to read as many of my Owl Crate books as I can next year. I need to get them done. So Spin the Dawn. It's upside down, but Spin the Dawn. Next is The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. And this one is representative of my Fairy Loot books. I only have 4, and I have read one of them. So there's only 3. It's not as bad as Owl Crate. But if I stay subscribed to Fairy Loot and don't read them, they're gonna build up. They're going to back up just like the Owl Crate ones. So 2020, I want to focus on reading the books that I get in subscription boxes, like Fairy Loot. Next is Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. I probably didn't pronounce that right, but I bought this full price because of how much I wanted to read it. I know Melanie from Mel to the Any loves it, and that's enough for me. It's like lesbian necromancers in space. Like, who am I? Why haven't I not read it yet? There's actually a blurb on the back of this that when I read it, I was like, if I ever write a book, that's what I want someone to say about me. It says, this crackling, inventive, and riotous book from an original voice is a genuine pleasure. Also, the author is clearly insane. Boo. Okay, there's only 3 more. First is Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell. I loved Carry On this year. I loved it so much. I've owned this since it came out and I haven't read it. Why? Why? I'm gonna read it. That's why it's on this list. In December of 2020, we're gonna go back over this list and see how many of these I've read because I need to read them. That's what this list is, to hold myself accountable. So, Wayward Son, Rainbow Rowell. And the next book is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. This was another gift from my friend Kat. That's why it's on this list. It was a gift. I want to prioritize it. And I've heard it's fantastic. It's one of her favorites. And so I've wanted to read it because of that. And now she gifted it to me. I'm going to read it. And the very last book is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. This one was a gift from my friend Casey. She sent it to me as a Christmas/birthday gift. She has recently read it and loved it. She's asked me and Kat a few times if we read it. I think she wants to talk about it. So I need to prioritize it so I can talk to her about it. When it first came out, and even like years after it came out, I really didn't have a desire to read it, even though everyone says it's great. But recently, for some reason, I've wanted to read it. And now I have it. So it was a gift. I'm gonna read it. And there we have it. Those are 20 books that I want to read in 2020. Though technically it's more than 20 because y'all can't see it, but there's Brahm. He's at the bottom down here. That is 3 books. The Beautiful, that is Fairy Loot, so that's 3 books. And then Spin the Dawn is technically 12 books. So I can't wait to look back on this video in December of 2020 and see how many of these books I have not read. Am I calling myself out? Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!